Welcome to the SAFA Thriving After Lockdown project. I'm Tom and I'm joined today by Joe. I'm a SAFA ambassador and Joe is a children's counsellor and a family support worker. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Tom.
So, Joe and I are here to help you if you're feeling a bit anxious or have a few worries about life right now. Maybe you're not too sure how to talk to an adult about how you're feeling. We've got a few tips for you and a story to end with which will help you understand a little bit more. Before we start chatting, let's hear from a few children just like you about things that are worrying them.
Well, I don't know if it's everyone, but usually I might think, oh no, what if I get in trouble about this? Or maybe, oh, this is really, wait, no, that's not something to worry about. Worrying about something. I usually worry if I've done something wrong and I might and something bad might happen, or I might think, oh no, what if I've done something wrong and it could, like, if I've said something and I didn't mean it in a way, and then I've accidentally, like, if I've said something but I didn't know what it meant, I thought it meant something else, someone would like start laughing, I'd think, oh no, what have I done?
My friends can help me by coming and talking to me and calming me down. Or if I'm at home, I'll go up to my bedroom and just lay in my bed. Then when I feel like I'm ready, I'll just get back out and go downstairs.
I'm not really sure, probably I think a lot of people worrying about COVID, like whether it's gonna, about their grandparents, maybe about their family, and about COVID, whether it's gonna affect them and their siblings.
I get sometimes sad and depressed when I sometimes get my own way. I don't see my friends anymore when I was homeschooling. Before that, I wasn't in touch with my friends, had arguments with my friends. We never spoke for about 2 months now. That's what made me quite sad. My birthday, no friends were around to say happy birthday, but one of them came round and gave me a little chocolate, so I said thank you.
So, Joe, a mix of worries there. School life, COVID, family. Worries are normal, aren't they? But what other things can children worry about at this age?
Tom, I think that nowadays we can worry almost about anything. I think that there are so many things that we can worry about that actually it's hard not to worry about certain things nowadays. So it could be from worrying, like you said, about friends, about school, about tests, about trying to keep up with our friends or trying to be good enough at this sport and that sport. That actually I think that it's really hard to keep up with our worries sometimes.
So, Joe, is it normal to feel sad and worried at sometimes?
It is, and I think that sometimes it's as if we shouldn't feel these feelings, that we should be happy all the time. But actually, it is completely normal to have those days where we feel sad, unhappy, or blue. And it's about the way that we react and the way that we kind of handle those emotions when we are feeling sad and feeling unhappy or blue.
So, Joe, why are some days particularly hard and harder than others?
So the best way that I can describe this is almost if you can imagine a backpack. So for those children that are kind of listening or watching this, I want you to imagine maybe one of your parents, one of their actual army backpacks, one of those that clips up at the chest and at the hips. And I want us to imagine how our worries can be almost as massive stones that go into that backpack. So if you was to imagine wearing that backpack and the stones, sometimes they're going to be boulders, sometimes they're going to be pebbles, but all our worries that go into that backpack can sometimes be manageable and we can sometimes take on the day with that weight. but other times it is just going to be too heavy. Too heavy. And when it's heavy, it's really hard to function and to be present and to be really able to kind of turn up and do our work and be the good friend that we are, or do the right things, make the right choices. So sometimes it is really hard to live our life with that backpack when it's harder and it's heavier some days.
So those worries in our backpack are like big heavy stones then weighing down on our mind. But how can those worries and that weight also affect us physically?
So the ability for worries and kind of going with that metaphor of the backpack is when that backpack is too heavy, when we've got too many worries, that can affect maybe our tummy. It can make us feel as if we're going to be sick. It might make us feel like we've got butterflies. It might cause us to have almost like a gentle headache maybe across the eyes. Or it might even be as if we're feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders, or that we can't quite take that proper deep breath and that we're not breathing properly. It's just gentle breathing. So it can really affect us physically.
So how can we deal with some of those worries then when they start to get to feel as if they're too heavy to carry anymore?
So the best thing that we can do is to actually take out, going with that metaphor of that backpack, is to take out some of those stones, some of those boulders. And to do that is to take it out, but to talk to somebody about it. And so an adult that you feel that you can trust. So whether that's your parents, carers, grandparents, it might even be a teacher, an auntie, a friend, more parents. It's just about that ability to talk about your worries.
Now, Jo, I've heard that you use animal puppets to explain something called brain theory. And I wonder could you explain that to us now, today?
I can do. So if you was to imagine these three particular animals, so you have a monkey, you have the elephant, and you also have the wise owl. So if we go with the monkey in particular, so this particular part of our brain represents the amygdala. And the amygdala is a part of our brain that's at the very back of our brain that is like a threat detector. So when we fear, or when we feel that we're in danger, this cheeky chimp is going to go off and it's going to think that we're going to be in danger. So it's going to make us maybe react differently. It might make us feel teary or feel angry. So the way that we react because of this cheeky chimp isn't always the best. So it can almost sometimes get in the way of us making the right choices of how to react to certain situations. But then the other part, and this is one of my favourite parts, is the wise owl. And the wise owl is the prefrontal cortex. Now, with the prefrontal cortex, this wise owl is very good at making choices. It's very good about thinking about what's the best outcome. It's about being rational, about thinking clearly. So this is really good to look after our prefrontal cortex. And we have these two. We have the cheeky chimp and the wise owl. But sometimes what happens is that when we aren't thinking clearly, is that we have our hippocampus that goes off. And that particular part of the brain is represented by an elephant, because supposedly, I don't know if you knew this, Tom, but elephants never forget. So they say that with this particular part of the brain, that what it can sometimes do, the hippocampi, is it can remind us of times when we felt scared. So let's use an example of we're at school and we've been asked to read a piece of work out loud or asked to do something in front of the class. Our cheeky chimp is going to be going off thinking, I can't do that, I'm not clever enough, people are going to laugh at me. And what might happen with the elephant is the elephant might go, well, last time you did mess it up. So it's almost going to feed this cheeky chimp, which makes it hard. But what we have to bear in mind is that other animal that I said about is that wise owl. And how with the wise owl, if we're kind to our wise owl, what can happen in that particular situation where we're in front of class, we're worried that we're going to get it wrong, is that actually it's about being calm and clear and actually thinking, no, I can do this. I'm going to try. My friends want me to do well. And it's about kind of believing in ourselves. The only thing is that the cheeky chimp scares off the wise owl. So when we're trying to think clearly and to think sensibly, what happens is the owl is actually scared of the cheeky chimp. So it makes it very hard to make those wise choices sometimes.
So, we really want the wise owl to be on our side, don't we? What can we do to help the wise owl be more present and be with us?
So the wise owl is to remind ourselves that it's always there. We've always got the wise owl. It's just like you say, to be more present. And for that to be more present, it's about the importance of sometimes taking really good belly breaths. So taking deep breaths that can help us feel more calm. It might be us saying like a positive affirmation. And maybe those that are watching and listening to this can maybe do some research with their parents or carers and find the right affirmation. An affirmation is a word or a saying that we say to ourselves to motivate ourselves. So, I can do this. This girl can. This boy can. I'm going to try. And it's about being kind to ourselves and to, most importantly, that wise owl, to allow it to realise that, this matters and that this is important.
I suppose the more relaxed we are as well, the better we feel and the calmer we can feel as well, can't we? So as we bring this session to a close, I wonder, could you share a relaxation story with us, something that we could use to help us feel more relaxed and more calm?
So with these particular exercises, you can do this at any time. If you was to be with a parent or carer, you can even go onto the internet and together you can find a visualisation story for you as well. So if you're watching or listening to this, you might want to get comfy. So that might be either laying down or it might be sitting up. And I want you to use your imagination. So I'd like you to close your eyes. And I would like you to take in a calm breath. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And every time you take in a breath, it's that breathing in that goodness. And every time you take a breath out, it's breathing out your worries. Now, visualize this. Imagine you are sat in a garden full of flowers. You have the bare feet and you feel the cool green grass beneath your hands. The sun is shining and it is warm and relaxing. You feel calm, you feel peaceful and you feel safe. This garden is a special place. No one can harm you here and nothing bad happens here. You sit in this garden, taking in calm breaths in and out, breathing in and out, in and out. And as you sit there, you feel a warm, glowing light move up towards your body. It moves up through your toes. This warm light moves up through your legs, into your chest, through your arms, to your fingertips, up your neck and into your mind. This light is a happy light that allows you to feel focused. As the light reaches the mind, all your thoughts and worries disappear. Your bag of worries is lighter. You feel at peace, confident and happy. You look around the beautiful garden and at the flowers. Each flower has a positive message about who you are written on the petals. Imagine slowly picking up a flower and read one of the messages. What does it say about the good thing about who you are? Good things that you're at. Now you are feeling relaxed. You lie down on the grass and imagine yourself as the happiest version you are. You feel powerful and strong. Let your mind be full of positive, happy thoughts about yourself and about the kind and caring person you are. Now it's time to leave this garden. But you leave behind your worries and you bring your bag back with just positive thoughts. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, have a nice stretch and say, I am me. I am me. And what you might want to do is you actually might want to make a note and draw a flower and make a note of something good about who you are as a person, so then you can remember it too.
Thank you for that story, Jo. It certainly made me feel a lot more calm and less worried.
You're welcome, Tom.